Hey, welcome back. I think it was Friday night. The guy below me, I could hear him talking on the phone until like 1 a.m. So I'm like, okay, for real. You have to feel okay. Right now it's 7 o'clock. I guess the biggest worry I had like the past couple weeks is like, you're talking too late and he's annoyed. But 7 o'clock. Come on. So I should never feel bad about talking loud. I could hear him talking at 1 a.m. on phone. He was talking on a speakerphone. I mean, I couldn't hear what he was saying, but I could hear that he was talking. So I don't have to ever feel bad about talking. Talk louder, come on, louder. I can't talk louder than this. This is as loud as you get.
May your survival be long.
May my death be swift.
See you back at base. Soon, I hope.
Yeah.
This next part is fun. It's very scary. It's like very horror-y. That's what I said yesterday. It's like the most horror-y part, I think, from what I remember. I mean, last time I played this was like 4 months ago. It's been like 4 months already. I just gotta finish this game. I've been listening to a podcast. Called Staying In. It's kind of sad because it's only 12 episodes long. But I don't know. I've been trying to find new podcasts since I re-listened to Harmontown, the whole thing, all 8 years of it. It took me like 9 months to get through it, but I just finished. I just re-listened to it. So now I'm looking for new podcasts to listen to. Someone recommended a podcast. Did I mention that? I don't know if I did. But I actually did listen to it.
Surgery, trauma, ICU.
And I liked it.
Let's do this.
It's called Very Presidential. And it's basically just this girl like trash talking old presidents. Like Thomas Jefferson was terrible and Andrew Jackson was the worst. But it's fun. I like it. I like the idea of that podcast, like...
This doesn't look so bad.
I don't know. I guess I'm siding more on that side lately. That's just like, just stop putting these people on pedestals and be like, they're people and they made mistakes and they're not perfect. But then I'm like, well, it's easy to be a critic. Like, these people actually tried to do something. And what am I doing?
Okay, trauma, surgery.
Just sitting here talking to a camera. I'm not trying to make anything better. So, but I'm definitely siding more on the like, well, we put these people on pedestals too much, and we need to just understand like they were real people. Like even go after Abraham Lincoln and George Washington. Tell me the bad stuff they did. I want to know. I want to know they weren't perfect. And they did good stuff, even though they weren't perfect people. Like, that's all we can hope for. I don't know, this bike... The one that I listened to was,
I'm glad I wasn't under the outbreak.
Thomas Jefferson. And she was going off on Thomas Jefferson. Like, he's stupid, he's a bad president, he's immoral. And, I mean, from what she said, it made sense. but she was going hard on Thomas Jefferson. Like, I mean, I didn't know this, but, like, I mean, you always hear about Sally Hemings as a slave, and he had children with her. But she was, like, 14 when they were supposedly, and he was, like, 45. That's, like, legit, like, worse than Roy Moore stuff. And he was president. So it kind of makes me feel good, like, yeah, Thomas Jefferson was terrible and we survived. We can make it.
ER. Trauma center's gonna be in there.
And he passed he helped pass this insane law called the Embargo Act, which made it illegal for all foreign trade. And she was like, yeah, foreign trade is 90% of the economy, so it's kind of stupid.
You fought the good fight.
Kind of makes you side a little bit with Alexander Hamilton, because they were like rivals. And you think Hamilton was probably the right one. But you could do an episode on Hamilton too, I'm sure. An episode. Did I say episode? I make a lot of mistakes, just like when I talk, that I didn't realize. But I notice it when I watch it back. Like, last week I was naming the 3 branches of government, and I said I said legislative twice, I think. Stupid. Okay, this is the quarantine. This is the cool thing that there was like an outbreak in this hospital, and they tried to contain it in this basement. And so you're kind of walking through and being like, what happened?
Okay, this is...
That's a guy. He's gonna jump. Ready? No? When I turn around, he's gonna jump at me. I think there are guys down here. This is scary. Not my flashlight. It is weird that I don't really get scared by things anymore. I don't know. I'm just like dead inside, I guess. But when I was a kid, I used to get really scared. Like TV and movies and games and stuff. Even like when I was in high school.
Give me something. Not a...
I remember playing Dead Space and being kind of scared.
around here.
Maybe I should play Dead Space. That's one of my favorite games. I haven't played it in a long time. I really liked Dead Space. It's a really cool game. I should try to make another one. Sorry, I'm not talking about anything interesting today. I have a ton of notes, but I didn't even get to my notes. My note today was going to be about virus education. Oh, I brought up this podcast called Staying In, and they just kind of talk about the virus, and like one of the people is immunocompromised, so she's like, what are we doing? And I like it. I like their perspective on things. I don't know. They try not to be too like angry about like one side or the other, like you're not wearing a mask, and I don't know. When you go online, it's just like people yelling at each other, and it's always the worst examples of, like, you go on Twitter and you see these people running through Target and they're like, don't take off your masks, everybody. Reminds me of that Community episode where the guy's like, everybody get up on your desk, stand up on your desk. Your whole life people have told you not to stand up on your desks, and why not? And then one of the people, like, falls off, the desk breaks, and she, like, breaks her leg. Oh yeah, that's why.
Surgery. Great.
I had another note that I just thought of, but let's finish this one first today. It's quiet. It's too quiet in here.
Needs electricity. Gotta be a generator around here somewhere.
So they brought up an interesting idea, which is like virus education is kind of like sex ed education. The way you want to treat it. Is there a bad guy down here? It's kind of similar. Which is an interesting take on it because I'm kind of the person too who's always just like, well, you have to follow all the rules and you can't, everybody has to wear a mask all the time and you can never leave your house. But that's kind of similar to, and then you just tell people that and then you don't give them any more information. But that's kind of similar to like abstinence only education, which doesn't work because people can't help themselves, I guess. They just do it, and it's like people are gonna leave their houses. Yes, it would be better if nobody ever left their house and nobody ever interacted with each other and like you never shook people's hands. But if you teach that that's the way you have to interact with people, people are going to rebel against that, and things are going to be worse. So you have to teach people how to be safe if they're going to go out into the world, which they're going to. It's the same thing with like abstinence education. You're worried like, oh, if we tell people how to be safe out in the world, then they're going to start doing it. So we shouldn't tell them. We should just say, you guys need to just stop doing stuff and everything needs to shut down. But instead you need to be like, you need to educate the public and be like, what's actually safe? What do we know? What's actually not safe? Like, you probably shouldn't go to a party. You shouldn't go like to a beach party. But like, if you want to meet your family, you can just be safe and distant, and like it would be safer not to go, but if you have to go like this. I'm hearing somebody. Where's the electricity? In here, right? No. Oh.
Could use 11 here. Or Manning.
Wearing a mask is good. I know it sucks, but like wear it as much as you can. It would help save people's lives. I think that's it for today. Yes, if nobody left their house, no one gets sick. You can't expect or force people to do that, so we need to educate how to be safe. Wear masks, 6 feet. Outside is better than inside. A lot of people don't know that, and they're just like, well, the government's telling me I can't do anything ever, so I have to rebel. Because they must be trying to control me. But we need to educate people. It's like, well, just be safe. We're trying to help you. The mask is to help you. We're not trying to control you. I see these. It's a good thing I don't go on Twitter that much, but I used to see these things about like all these awful, like stupid, dumb tweets. The one I can remember is like this person was comparing wearing a mask to like people used to were forced to wear masks when they were like slaves, and they would show pictures of like There's no difference between these two pictures. This slave is the same as you. You're a slave to the government because they're forcing you to wear a mask. And that is a fault of bad education. You're gonna have people like that. So you gotta just be like, hey, I know I'm not always trying to help you. We don't want you to get sick. From what I understand, I've been reading a little bit more about the masks. It's pretty interesting. From what I understand about the mask is like, wearing a mask helps if you have the virus and like you're asymptomatic or you are symptomatic. It helps to stop you from spreading it. It doesn't really help protect you if someone else has a virus and they're talking to you and they're kind of like spraying their virus juices on you. It doesn't really help to have a mask as much. I mean, it couldn't hurt, but it doesn't really help. It helps more if you're wearing a mask because the virus spreads easily, like on like spit particles and like snot particles and stuff. So like when you talk to people, there's like these invisible microscopic water bubbles, and the virus kind of stays on the bubbles and it just kind of floats around. And if you wear a mask, it traps those bubbles. The virus can still get through, but it's just harder for it. Like it just takes more effort. And like if you're just talking to somebody for a couple minutes and then they leave, the virus will like, maybe it'll go over to where they were, but then it'll just fall down and be on the ground. And I don't think it stays too long on like a surface or anything. It's mostly just like, it's mostly transmitted by like, well, you're asymptomatic, you touch your face, you get stuff on your hand, you shake somebody's hand, then they touch their face. I don't think it really spreads like on objects and stuff, but I don't know. I could talk more about. I do have more about notes about the virus. Been thinking about it more. It's interesting. So I don't know. Talk about it tomorrow. See you tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Bye.